Okay then, hi guys and welcome to another video. I am sorry that yesterday there wasn't a video out. Even though I broke my New Year's resolution, I am trying to keep putting videos out. The main reason why there wasn't one is, as you guys know, I was off work for a week. And pretty much what that means for me is that every night I go to bed an hour later because I don't have to be up in the morning. So despite the fact that I was setting my alarm to go off at 8:30 every single day, I ended up going to bed later and later, sleeping through my alarm, and then it came to Sunday when I ended up watching pretty much all of Game of Thrones in one night, and I wasn't sleepy till like really late, like 20 to 5 or something stupid like that. Got up at 8 the following morning to go to work, right? And when I came home, I kind of, that all caught up with me. So like on the walk home, I was feeling proper awake and I was like, yes, right, okay, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna film, I'm gonna get on top of everything. And when I just got in, I ended up being completely knackered, monged about for a bit, had a bit of a nap, woke up again pretty late, and then it was too... Thing is, I don't like doing videos too late in my house because there's a lot of people in my house. It's quite a small one, and when people are asleep, they can always like hear me, and they don't like being woken up and stuff like that. So, in any case, excuses, blah blah blah. There wasn't a video yesterday. Hi, there is one today. And we're going to finish the Hearts of the North, and I almost said Winds of Change, but finally at the end I've learned it. So I asked you guys to vote at the end of the last episode. I haven't even counted all of the comments, but I got through like the first 4 pages of comments, maybe it was 5, and I was like tallying up all of the votes, and it was so overwhelmingly C by that point, the option C, that I just realised, yes, it's definitely going to be C. Even if the rest of the pages are all A and B, they're probably still not going to catch up. So it looks like we're going to be going for C this time, so we'll see what happens. I should have guessed that you guys would go for the funny one. I'm wondering if maybe I should always do the funny, stupid comments, because we'll get a lot of decisions like that in Winds of Change. I'm wondering if I should just always do that. Anyway, so yeah, this is the last quest of the Hearts of the North. It's not really much of a quest, really. It's just kind of the conclusion. There's not any difficult fights or anything like that. That's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a spoiler. It's not like what's about to happen is going to be crashed by some monsters or anything like that. We just get to enjoy ourselves and see the conclusion of this plot. As I've said before, I'm pretty sure I've said before, as I said, Winds of Change, Warring Criter required you to have finished Prophecies, right? And then Hearts of the North required you to have completed Warring Criter, so they're like chain up. However, Winds of Change doesn't chain up like that. All it is like completely separate. It requires simply factions completion. So what we're seeing here really is kind of the end of all of the Warring Criter and that stuff. Obviously, the shift in the story's changed since the end of the Warring Criter, but what we are seeing here is essentially kind of the end of that big long chain, the end of all the stuff here in Prophecies. And unless they release something, I guess the next Guild Wars Beyond thing is going to be in Nightfall, right? Which means that unless they release something after that, which, let's face it, could be a good 2 years, this could be the last time we see Peter Redhill. And indeed, the pet I always forget. I feel really bad about this. It's like, I just neglect this guy now. I had a comment on one of the earlier Prophecies videos earlier today when I got home, and someone was like, oh yeah, Charlie's there in centre frame, and I feel bad. I feel really bad. So I'll try and have Charlie out with us for this video. And yeah, I don't know, guys, there might be some weird series I end up doing in the future where we see Peter Redhill, but enjoy it, I guess. Enjoy it. So, hi Thackeray. How are you doing, buddy? He says, there you are. Things have been interesting ever since the Norn got involved, but it seems we're finally set to begin the ceremony. I can't imagine it happening without you there, so we've waited. You'll attend, won't you? I would be honoured to attend. So yeah, the Norn are involved. There is something about those Norn which I will tell you guys, don't worry. Somebody left a comment. I was like, no, I didn't forget that. I'm just going to mention it at the end. So I would be honoured to attend. Or, you know what they say, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Do you know what I'd like? Is if in Guild Wars, because like the decline is so useless anyway, pressing decline still accepted the quest just so you could be like a moody, horrible arsehole like the entire time. But that would be brilliant. I would just love to be able to actually hit decline and then still be able to get the quest. Anyway, so I'd be honoured. Thanks very much, Thackeray. So we've got this quest here, right? The wedding. If we press L, we don't even get an objective. I'm pretty sure you just speak to him and he takes you into it, right? Yeah, so you can go... Oh, does he say something else? He says, hello, friend. What can I do for you? I feel like I owe you for one, or about 20 at this point. We already read that before. How can I help? Gwen doesn't say anything, so you hit the wedding. And you will be brought to Olafstead to take part in the festivities. It's likely there's going to be a lot of dialogue. There's going to be commentary I want to like give, but I doubt I'll be able to because I don't want to get caught behind with the dialogue. It's going to be a bit like the Trial of Zin, I suppose. But here we go. Olafstead for the wedding. Very cool. One of the first things we really started here with the War in Kreiter was at Olafstead as well, and that is kind of significant. So yeah, we're back here, Olafstead, the most important thing ever to really happen here, and we're about to experience a Norn wedding, which is really cool. Lots of characters, only that guy we're not really that familiar with. I did point him out in Eye of the North. I always knew that this part of the Let's Play was coming up, and I wanted to do something special with him before this point, but I never really did. So anyway, we can come over, and Olaf Olafsson says, among our people, it's a great honour for an individual to stand above all others, to be recognised as the best at their life's calling. But it's perhaps a greater honour to find the person who is your equal, the one who matches your every move, who you can never overshadow, and who you would never want to. To join with the one worthy of sharing in our hunt is a rare and blessed occasion, and we have gathered here today to witness such a union. Witness before you, Kieran Thackeray. Who here will stand before Bear? See, why does that go so fast? Who here will stand before Bear to speak his courage? I will, says Valgar, Tempest Crafter. I have stood beside Kieran Thackeray in the battle and witnessed his bravery. If not for his cunning, my tale would have surely been met by its final chapter at the hands of the deadly three-tailed devourer. Witness before you, Gwen. Who here will stand before Bear to speak for her courage? And we turn around and say, I will. Okay, this is the choice. This is the choice that we get to make here. Yes, these guys are in suits. She's in a proper wedding suit. Kieran is in his, like, I don't know, a tux or whatever it is. This is what ArenaNet are kind of doing for a long while now. It kind of started with Winter's Day, I think was the first one of the Winter's Days that came out. There you have, or was it the White Mantle and Shining Blade costumes? It could have been those. They've been capitalising on new content. This is new free content coming to the game. However, they've been quite clever about it. They know that they release the content, people will start playing again. At the same time, every time they release a new chapter or a new section of Guild Wars Beyond or something like that, or a new holiday comes about, they release outfits in the in-game store that you can buy. And for Hearts of the North, they were these outfits here. Somebody did ask me in the comments at one point, hey, are you gonna wear one of those? And I would like to, guys. I mentioned a long time ago that back in Prophecies I wanted to buy the Shining Blade and White Mantle stuff, but I just don't really think it's going to be worth it. Not worth the money for this one scene here. It would have been nice, I give you that. It would have been the kind of thing I would have liked to have gone all out on, but yeah, I mean, it's not a massive deal. We're not the ones getting married. Nobody else is dressed up nicely. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to speak for Gwen. I'm going to quickly chat to these guys to see what they have to say. She says, this isn't exactly the wedding I'd always pictured as a child, but this is still the happiest day I can remember. Thank you for everything you've done for me. For us. I'm not sure if we should speak to them first. I think all the dialogue acts as if the wedding's already over. We'll see. Kieran says, thank you for everything. This day would never have been possible without you. I mean, we're forever in your debt. Sure. Okay, so what have you to tell me, says Olaf. Well, we can tell him that Gwen has stood against the threat of the Flame Legion. We can say that Gwen has survived the searing, or we can say that Gwen has managed to put up with Kieran. You guys voted for option C. Gwen has managed to put up with Kieran. I like how, well, I don't know whether I like it, but Kieran doesn't really have a friend, does he? It'd be hilarious if Miku turned up and she was the one to speak for him. That'd be quite funny. There we go. Gwen has managed to put up with Kieran. Gwen has put up with Kieran for this long. If she can do that, then nothing can come between them. Oh, we stay classy. How very appropriate. Ha! It is perhaps the greatest burden to suffer the company of another. This must truly be love. Really? So they're just kind of miserable together. I guess that's true, though. I mean, do any of us really think this was a picture-perfect relationship? On this day, their hunt becomes the same. Let there never be a battle where your back is left open. Let there never be a night without one to stand guard. Kieran Thackeray, when your last arrow has flown, will you have the strength to stand beside Gwen? Try and remember when your last arrow is flown. I think that's quite a cool line with respect to something we're about to find out. Kieran says, I will. Whatever may come, I will be her strength when she has none left to give. Gwen, when your last illusion has shattered, will you have the strength to stand beside Kieran? I like that as well, like Shattered Illusion. It's a pretty cool score. I will, if we've managed to come this far together. Oh my god, that goes so fast. Where was that? If we manage to come this far together, then we can overcome anything. And Olaf says, then the story of your new life together starts now. May your love be as the flame that forever rages against the eternal winter. Let your tale be a worthy one that passes down through the ages. May you share in all the glory and the hardships, the joys and the sorrows, and the adventures that are yet to come. Most importantly, let us share a drink in celebration. Oh, how very Norn. Hooray, and everybody cheers. Let's roar, I guess. I should probably cheer, but congratulations, Gwen and Kieran. And everybody shuffles off, goes to do their stuff. I love it when Guild Wars does that. Like, there's so many places in the game where there's these huge groups of people that do stuff like that. Those two will walk over there. I can't remember when the next bit happens. I'm not going to go over to those just yet. I'd rather speak to the other NPCs. So, in true fashion of my channel, as we always do, we're just going to stand around talking to everyone for ages. So, hey, Olaf, wait. He says, what have you got to tell me? Okay, so he's got nothing interesting to say. However, lots of really prominent, cool characters around here. The most fun thing, I think, is the 5 characters that we kind of knew all the way through the storyline. They were there in all of the campaigns. They were there in Eye of the North. These guys, Menlo, Sin, and so forth, they're actually back here at the end of Guild Wars Beyond. I knew they'd start talking if I didn't go over that. Right, we're going to have to go speak to Gwen. Where is she? She says, when I was a little girl, I often dreamed of what my wedding would be like. And Thackeray says, and was it anything like this? We're just going to eavesdrop, guys. Not in the slightest, nor are you who I thought I would end up with. Hey, I cut off my ponytail for you. But that's just the thing. This isn't about what I thought I wanted. It's about what I need. And what I need is you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Is that romantic? I don't want you. Well, I suppose it is. I don't want you. I need you, I guess. It's a bit backhanded, though, isn't it? She can't just be like, oh, I love you. Anyway, I would never. For as long as I draw a breath, I am yours. As long as the stars... Hey, lovebirds. Why not give us a kiss? Oh, by the 6th, forget it. Some things are meant to be private. Come on, Kieran. Let's get out of here. Oh, you ruined it, Olaf. We could have actually seen them kiss. Oh, wait, there's no kiss emote. Oh, look, they're actually running off. Brilliant. As will you, my love. From this day forth, we travel together. Okay, leader of the Even Falcons and formerly a ranger of the Even Vanguard, his path has led him from the life of a solitary hunter to being a seasoned commander. Now he travels with his wife, Gwen. Her battles are now one with his own. The reason why I read that fast, I had this problem in Nightfall and a bit in Eye of the North as well. This dialogue here, you can never see it again once it's gone. Okay, so that is it. And Kieran Thackeray... Should I say it? Yeah, I'm going to have to because one of the NPCs mentions it. When we actually add him, he's now a hero. This is really cool. We never saw that in Warring Cry. It was a very exciting thing about Hearts of the North, I think. I think a lot of us were aware that we were going to get a hero, and we were all pretty much aware it was going to be Kieran Thackeray. But that's a new thing they started doing from this point forward. Heroes in Guild Wars Beyond content, which is really, really, really cool. And I love what they did, and it's a brilliant motivation for going through the winds of change, which I'll talk about, obviously, when we get to that. Anyway... What they might have done, I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but what they've done with heroes in Guild Wars is they've made it so that you can get... There aren't 3 of every profession, but basically this looks like is their goal. They're trying to make it so there are 3 heroes available of every individual profession in the game. And that originally started because you could only have 3 heroes at once, right? Now you can have 7, so it's a little bit less important. And you can also get mercenary heroes, so it's not so important there either. But the idea was that you could have all your heroes of just the one primary profession if you wanted. So as time went on, you could get more and more and more. It was always a bit unbalanced, but I guess the original idea was that with Utopia's release, there would be more opportunity to get those remaining professions, those remaining heroes with those professions. However, obviously, Utopia didn't come out, so Eye of the North ended, and we had a bit, it was all a little bit odd. Some of the professions had 3, and a lot of the core ones had 3. If you think of monks, you had Dunkoro, Talcora, and Ogden. But then some others didn't have 3, like, for instance, the Mesmers. That's a core profession, but you only had Norgu and Gwen, right? So they were all a little bit unbalanced, and there were quite a few. So... What do we think Kieran is? Well, for the whole time, we've pretty much seen him as a ranger, right? He's always had a bow, he's been described as a ranger, he's acted like a ranger. However, when you add him as a hero, what do you know? He's a paragon. Paragons, there were only 2 paragons. Don't forget, there was Hader and there was General Morgan, and those were the only 2 paragons. But now you actually get Kieran Thackeray, who's become one. And they've hinted at it as times have gone on. I think that line during the wedding there about his last arrow flying, and particularly as you're playing through the mini-missions, we were getting paragon skills, remember? That's why I told you to take note of that. He's basically become a paragon. When you add him as a hero, I'll show you, he's still got a bow. It's a green bow, so you have to equip a spear for him, which is a little bit annoying. Most other heroes come with their own weapons that are actually suitable for them. Kieran doesn't, but still. So yeah, I will let you guys, I'm not going to specifically say it, but I will let you guys think of what heroes could be coming in Guild Wars Beyond content based off the fact which ones we've already got 3 of, but I'm not going to say any more than that, just not to give you guys any hints. And yeah, that's basically what's going on there. Also, you'll notice... oh no, it's in the description here. Oh no, it's not in the description. Where are you supposed to read that? I think it came up. You might want to like rewind it, but usually when you get a hero on this game, it says General Morgan or whatever has joined your party. With this, for some reason, I'm not 100% sure why. I think they were just being a little bit cheeky. It says you have joined Kieran Thackeray's party. I think that's kind of a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Oh, he's the leader, he's the paragon. Also, we kind of got to play as him for a while. I think it's kind of along those lines. The wiki lists that actually as an anomaly, which I'm not surprised about because it is a little bit weird, but it's kind of cool anyway. That's the other little thing about Kieran becoming a hero there. But we'll look at him later. Right, so we got lots of NPCs here. And yeah, I know that these episodes really aren't the most exciting, these ones that we end the Let's Plays on. But hey, this is what we do. Right, so we got Nicholas the Traveller. This guy, I talked about him in Eye of the North. I'm pretty sure you must all know him. Anybody who actually plays the game is well aware. With Guild Wars, every week there are different collectible items you can collect, and you'll find this guy in a random location in any of the explorables in the entire game, except I think some places maybe in the Realm of Torment or somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure he doesn't appear. Oh, does he appear in the Fissure of Woe in the Underworld? He might even appear there. I know he collects stuff from there. So he appears in lots of different places, and he'll give you like gifts from the Traveller that he'll take, and then you can open them and get stuff. I did talk about it in Eye of the North, and this is kind of what a lot of players will be doing once they've completed all of the content, as I've been going through in the Let's Play. Like, this is something to consider. All these videos I've ever done on Guild Wars, I have been very, very careful. I've made a very determined decision not to do any farms or anything that's kind of associated with title grind, which at the end of the day is what 99% of the content is for players who are actually playing the game. What I'm showing you is kind of just the stuff you start off with, except I'm showing it to you in depth with all the things people usually miss, because we usually rush to try and get to the more boring title grinding aspect at the end, because that's where the Guild Wars 2 rewards and stuff come in, which is kind of backwards, but that's why I've enjoyed doing this so much, because it's like, look, there's all of this stuff. There's what, 500 videos worth of stuff. Anyway, so yeah, if you play the game, you'll know about Nick. You will have connected to him as a character already. I kind of haven't expressed that much in the Let's Play, but he's got a little joke for us here. And he says, it feels like only yesterday that Gwen was chasing after adventurers outside of Ascalon City. And yes, she was. If you saw, I did a couple of videos in pre-searing. There should be some more coming. And we kind of saw Gwen around there. We fixed her fleet for her and stuff like that. I'm glad that she has finally been able to find a bit of her own happiness, especially after all that she's been through. By the way, I was thinking of giving her some handmade hairpins as a wedding gift. If you could find me 3 Berserker horns, I'd be able to fashion a nice set for her. Just kidding. I got one from a few of the Vanguard scouts a while ago. So yeah, he always says something like that, so it's weird. I think that's a pretty cool joke. That's like, I felt like I had to explain that so that some of you would actually understand the joke. Then we got Yackington as well, his pet there, of course. And we've got some other guys here. So these are the Eben Falcons. These were the guys that were here in the War and Cry. There's a lot of interesting trivia about these guys. I can't remember what it's called, but they're all like references to some show that one of the writers watches. I'd seen it on Wiki a few days ago. I forget what the show's called now, but they've all got a lot of really weird, kind of interesting quotes, quite a lot of funny things that they only really say in War and Cry. And actually, when I saw the page the other day when I was kind of doing my little bit of research for this video, I really kind of regretted that I didn't talk about all their interesting quotes and stuff. Some of them have got some really cool things going on with them. For example, you know the Eben Vanguard Assassin Support skill that you can get? I'm pretty sure Peter's definitely got this one here. I believe it's Nola Shepherd. It could be Nola Shepherd, or it's Diane. One of these guys, they actually have that skill, but is a specific monster-only version of the skill. And when they use it, instead of summoning a generic Eben Vanguard Assassin like you would as the player character, they actually summon another character in the fight. They summon this guy, Rigo Bolan, into the fight. It's really weird. There's some really cool, interesting little things going on with these characters. They don't obviously spend much time at the forefront, but yeah, it's those little things that I always enjoyed about War and Cry that I think are missing from the Winds of Change, and pretty much in the Hearts of the North too. So yeah. Cool stuff. If you guys are interested in what that show might have been, or you think you've seen a quote that you recognise, please leave a comment, or feel free to check the wiki if you want yourself. But yeah, so we'll speak to them. Koro says, Gwen looks absolutely stunning in that wedding dress, don't you think? Of course you do. I'm not called Great Vanguard Koro for my spellcasting ability alone. No one else in the Vanguard could have helped select the outfits for this occasion. I'm sure they couldn't have. Lawrence Crafton says, I feel like this is the guy we know more than anyone else. He says, Norn weddings on average cost 47% less for decorations and organisational overhead when compared to Ascalonian weddings. However, they usually end up costing about 65% more when it comes to food and beverage costs. With the type of guests I'm seeing here, I'm glad I'm not the one footing the bill. Yeah, his kind of personality, if you look at his quotes and stuff, he's all to do with numbers. He's like an accountant or whatever. He's kind of, that's very much to do with what Lawrence Crafton's all about. We've got Nola Shepherd here. We spoke to her a few times before, if you remember. She says, once, while I was still learning the necromantic arts, I used bone minions to act out a wedding. The real thing is so much nicer, though, especially without the groom's arms falling off. I'm so happy for the both of them. You sounded like you'd get on with Eve. Diane Fermati, who says, it's not a real wedding, hic without drinks. I wish I could like hiccup on command, but I can't, guys. I'm not a voice actor, I'm sorry. Also, if you can hear that music, that's my little brother, I'm sorry about that. Rigo Bolan,
Dwayne's blessing upon,
who for some reason has dialogue while no one else does, says, I scouted the area earlier to make sure that we wouldn't have centaur trouble during the wedding. Fortunately, all we really have to worry about is if we brought enough food for the reception. Okay, so yeah, it gets a little bit interesting. I was in the middle of a speech about these guys earlier. I think it's cool that you get these 5 main characters. They kind of come back right at the end of Hearts of the North. I think that's really, really cool, especially considering they weren't really present in that storyline, so we see what's been going on with them over that time. And there's some pretty funny stuff. So we'll speak to Eve first. She says, I don't know what's more enjoyable, the wedding itself or waiting to see how long it takes Sin to light Menlo on fire. Right, okay. Well, remember, don't forget these guys were kind of being hinted at as being lovers back in Prophecies and through factions and stuff. Remember Sin being very jealous of Menlo's 2 friends that he met at Xingje, the 2 twins. Then we've got Aiden over here, who says, I don't understand why someone would forsake the fine art of being a ranger to run around yelling at people, but I suppose I am somewhat biased. So he's referencing Kieran there, that's why I mentioned the whole Paragon thing already. Devonna says, I can hardly believe that the little girl I knew from Ashford just got married. Makes me think it's about time for me to settle down. Of course, I'm taking this a whole lot better than Sin is. Okay, so why would Sin be taking it bad? Well, we can speak to... This is really the best thing about the wedding. It really, really is. So we can speak to Menlo, who says, oh, Peter, it's great to see you. No, you're not interrupting anything. Please, please, come, let's get caught up. No, really, don't leave me alone with her. So Sin is saying, I remember Gwen from when she was 10 years old. 10! And she got married before me. Someday I'm going to get tired of waiting for a certain monk to propose. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think this was the first time I think that ArenaNet were really forward with these guys kind of being in a bit of a relationship or something. I really do. This is the first time I really think of it. It was kind of little hints dropped here and there, but this is pretty damn blatant by this point. So yeah, there's all those guys. Really cool. I like to see the 5 characters. We'll see them kind of a bit again in Winds of Change. I won't talk too much about that. I actually tweeted about something that happens with these guys in Winds of Change a while ago, and I got a couple of angry comments about spoilers. So we won't be talking about that for a while. I hope they do okay. So yeah, who else have we got? We've got these Norn over here. Helga the Cub, who says, after seeing how you humans celebrate, I've been eager to see how you enjoy a Norn celebration. Isn't this great? Yeah, it's pretty good. We got Valgar Tempestcraft. Okay, I'll come back to him in a second. He says, fine Norn wedding this turned out to be. I knew this was a feat worthy of my mighty prowess. Sure was. The Norn helped us out quite a lot. Galbrum the Intoxicated says, what? Huh? Yeah, I would like another drink. Thanks for... offering, I guess he's saying that. Yeah, there we go. And then Bartak the Glutton says, seconds, I'm going back for 7s. Right. The one thing I did want to mention, if you go back, I'm not telling you to go back, but there is an episode ages ago where we kind of just started Winds of Change, when we just started the War in Kryta. We came and we did what was initially a festival quest. You remember all that stuff? When we kind of first met Kieran and we were helping him out, we came to Olafstead to help out with Gwen's pendant, like to get it crafted or something. The person we go to is Tempest Crafter, who in the end is the guy who kind of helps arrange the wedding, and I didn't realise that until just as I was let's playing that, and we spoke to him and it suddenly dawned on me, and I was like, oh, I've just realised something, that's amazing. And then I was like, oh, I can't tell you about it, it's a bit of a spoiler. Well, that's what I realised. If you remember that, that's what I realised. So very cool, I quite like that. Who else have we got? We got Vale here. Of course, Vale, this guy offers you the Mask of the Mosing, which I promised I would show you guys, but still to this date haven't. Glossing over that. Well, he says 3, 2, 1. There. The charges I just placed in that char camp should have just detonated, and they thought this wedding would spare them from a quick death at my hands. Oh, I'm sure they did. Kim's the historian, the guy from the hall. He says perhaps now they'll stop flirting and bickering in the Hall of Monuments as if I wasn't standing right there. I love that because he was like only just added as an NPC like really recently when Hearts of the North had come out, so it was really cool for them to flesh out this random NPC that doesn't really... You never think of this NPC of having any thoughts of his own. He's just like a services NPC. But then he's kind of got this cool little thoughts on what they've been doing floating around there. We've got Casey.
Hello, traveler.
Hey, Casey, you got a cool name, bruh. He says, I'm so happy for Kieran and Gwen. I always knew he would eventually win her over. And Artificer Moulini, who says, I have a detailed transcript of the ceremony, should anyone need it. Well, I hope so. You are kind of supposed to be keeping the records. But yeah, there you go. That's all of the NPCs, really, guys. I've blabbed. Oh, no, it's not. We've got Ogden over here. Still not turned to stone, by the way. Maybe they just didn't want to do a new sort of bit of art for him for this. I can totally understand that. I still think him, Mox, Razza, it would be amazing if those heroes, we could see him in Guild Wars 2 somewhere. But how are you doing, Ogden? Don't forget, we did hear all dwarves undergo the rite, so he says there is an open bar. May the great dwarf give me strength. Enjoy, Ogden. I like this as well because they're kind of being quite, they're not like, obviously they've introduced the Norn that are really similar to the dwarves, but they don't start trying to push away from all the lore that they'd established about the dwarves and like, oh yeah, the dwarves do like drink, but not as much as the Norn, you know, to try and make them distinct. They're embracing it. They're like, yes, they both like their alcohol. Hey Vec, how's it going? Don't forget, really in the lore, we haven't seen these guys for a while. They haven't been in our party or anything like that. He says, a Norn wedding's all fine and well, but if you want to see a real party, you should see an Asuran wedding. No one is allowed to leave until a precise calculation is made for how much love is in the air. Nothing says I love you like complex algorithms. Oh, I can't wait. This is why I'm going to be an Asura. Oh my god, brilliant. I was actually talking to someone recently about the prospect of having like festivals and events. You know how we have Winter's Day and stuff, like each race has their own event. I think that'd be really, really cool, because like Winter's Day is not really going to work for Guild Wars 2 because it's such a human-centric festival, so it'd be nice if all the different races had their own festivals. I think that'd be quite cool. Anyway, Jorah says, a fine Norn wedding if I've ever seen one. May neither of them ever hunt alone again. I'm sorry, Jorah, I find you to be such a boring character. Huh. Okay, well, there we go, guys. We got just some generic Vanguard here guarding the exit. Can we even leave properly? But that's everyone, I think. That's pretty much end of the Hearts of the North, guys. Like I said, it's just an episode around an outpost. I will add Kieran just so that we can see him. I will introduce him to you. Since we're not going to be on Peter Redhill after this episode for the foreseeable future, I don't know. I mean, we said goodbye at the end of Ivan North, so I'm not going to go on about it. But yeah, this really is kind of, I mean, unless they release, as I've always said, there will, if they release more stuff, there will be more Guild Wars 1 videos for as long as they do it. So, yeah, but there you go. There's Kieran. We might see sort of Peter later on, but there's Kieran. He's got a bow with him, which he comes equipped with. There you go, Kieran's bow. Same one as we had before, except now it's inscribable. So this is the Kieran's bow that we use for the bonus mission pack. As you can see, it's not inscribable. You can't do anything. This one's fully moddable, and I think it's actually, no, it's the same skin. I'm pretty sure it's the same skin. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's Kieran Thackeray. He has now joined our team. Not that it really matters that much. Well, okay, no. I think we will see him at one point in one of the Winds of Change things, because I want to show you something in that regard. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed Hearts of the North. I did say it was going to be short. I'm going to leave this all as one video, half an hour or whatever. And unless it bore, no, I'm going to leave this one episode. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you next time for the start of Winds of Change. A whole new story, a whole new continent. I'll catch you later.